William the Conqueror, the bastard who took a kingdom. England did not fall in a single day. It was taken, step by step, by a man the world once mocked as a bastard. In the year 1028, in the quiet Norman town of Falaise, a child was born without a crown, without legitimacy, and without mercy waiting for him. His name was William, and before he would become William the Conqueror, the world would try again and again to kill him. This is not just the story of a king. This is the story of blood, betrayal, ambition, and a single battle that changed the fate of England forever. The Bastard of Normandy, 1028 to 1035. William was born in 1028, the illegitimate son of Robert I, Duke of Normandy, and a woman named Herleva, the daughter of a tanner. In medieval Europe, legitimacy was everything, and William had none. The nobles whispered his name with disgust, William the Bastard. But in 1035, fate intervened. Robert I decided to go on pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Before leaving, he did something dangerous, something foolish. He declared his illegitimate son as his sole heir. Robert never returned. He died on the journey, somewhere near Nicaea, in July 1035. And just like that, a 7-year-old bastard child became Duke of Normandy. The wolves smelled blood. A child surrounded by daggers, 1035 to 1047. Normandy exploded into chaos. Barons rebelled, lords plotted, assassins crept through the night. William's guardians were murdered one by one. One guardian was killed in his bed, with William sleeping in the same room. Another was ambushed on the road. More than once, William was carried out of castles in the dead of night, hidden in peasant houses, just to keep him alive. This was not a childhood. This was survival. By 1040, Normandy was in open civil war. William was still a boy, but the world was already trying to end him. The Battle of Val-es-Dunes, 1047. At 19 years old, William made a choice. He would stop running. With help from King Henry I of France, William marched against the rebellious Norman lords. The two armies met near Val-es-Dunes, close to Caen, in 1047. The battle was brutal and chaotic. Rebel knights drowned as they were driven into the Orne River. By sunset, William stood victorious. This battle changed everything. For the first time, Normandy bowed to him. The boy survived. The man had arrived. A duke forged in war, 1047 to 1060. William ruled Normandy with iron discipline. Castles rose across the land. Rebellions were crushed without mercy. He married Matilda of Flanders around 1050, securing a powerful alliance. Even the King of France, once his ally, began to fear him. Between 1054 and 1058, King Henry I invaded Normandy twice. William defeated him both times. By 1060, William was no longer the bastard. He was one of the most feared rulers in Western Europe. And across the sea, England was watching. The Promise of a Crown, 1051. In 1051, Edward the Confessor, King of England, faced a problem. He had no heir. Edward had spent much of his youth in Normandy, and he trusted William. According to Norman sources, Edward promised William the English throne. But promises mean little without power. When Edward died on January 5, 1066, England stood at a crossroads, and 3 men reached for the crown. The 3 claimants, 1066. On January 6, 1066, Harold Godwinson, the most powerful noble in England, was crowned king. William was furious. He claimed Harold had once sworn an oath on holy relics to support William's claim. Harold denied it. Meanwhile, a third challenger emerged, Harald Hardrada, King of Norway, a legendary Viking warlord, claimed England as well. 3 kings, 1 throne, and war was inevitable. Blood in the North, Stamford Bridge, September 25, 1066. Hardrada struck first. In September 1066, he invaded northern England with a massive Viking army. Harold marched his forces over 300 kilometers in less than 2 weeks. On September 25, 1066, near Stamford Bridge, the armies collided. The battle was savage. Harald Hardrada was killed, an arrow through his throat. The Viking Age in England ended that day, but Harold's army was exhausted, and far to the south, sails appeared on the horizon. William crosses the sea, September 28, 1066. William had waited months for favorable winds. Finally, on September 28, 1066, he crossed the English Channel with around 7,000 men, knights, archers, cavalry. He landed at Pevensey, then moved to Hastings, building a wooden fortress. William knew Harold was coming. There would be no retreat. The Battle of Hastings, October 14, 1066. On October 14, 1066, 2 armies faced each other on Senlac Hill. Harold's English forces formed a solid shield wall. William's army attacked again and failed. At one point, rumors spread that William was dead. Panic began to ripple through the Norman lines. William rode forward, lifted his helmet, and shouted, "I live and I will conquer." Then came the turning point. William ordered feigned retreats. The English broke formation to pursue. The shield wall shattered. By evening, an arrow struck King Harold, tradition says, in the eye. The English king fell. By nightfall, England had lost its crown. The Crown of England, December 25, 1066. On Christmas Day, 1066, William was crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey. But the conquest was not over. It was just beginning. A king among enemies, 1067 to 1071. England rebelled again and again. The North rose in defiance. Danish fleets arrived. William responded with terror. Between 1069 and 1070, he unleashed the harrying of the North. Villages burned, crops destroyed, thousands starved. It was conquest by annihilation. England was broken into submission. The Doomsday Book, 1086. In 1086, William ordered a survey unlike anything seen before. Every village, every field, every cow. The result was the Doomsday Book, a complete record of England's wealth. It proved one thing: William owned England. The Fall of a Conqueror, 1087. In 1087, during a campaign in France, William was injured when his horse stumbled. The wound became fatal. On January 9, 1087, William the Conqueror died in Rouen. His body was so swollen that it barely fit in the coffin. Even in death, chaos followed him. Legacy of blood and iron. William changed England forever. He replaced its ruling class, its language, its culture. French words flooded English speech. Castles reshaped the land. A new England was born through conquest. He began life as William the Bastard. He died as William the Conqueror. And the echoes of his footsteps still shape the world today.